Are the things you can't seem to let go of making you feel heavy? What if letting go of those attachments is the key to true peace and spiritual freedom? In this video, we'll look at Miyamoto Musashi's deep lessons and find out how to free your mind and soul. Step 1. Mindful breathing. Though breathing is an important part of life, most of us don't realize how powerful it is. Mindful breathing is a powerful way to let go of attachments and embrace spiritual freedom. By focusing on the rhythm of your breath, you stay in the present, which is the only time when life really happens. Miyamoto Musashi was a famous swordsman and philosopher who talked a lot about being aware of the present moment. He believed that mastering oneself starts with a calm mind, which can be achieved through focused breathing. Musashi's life showed this to be true because he used his breath to center himself during duels, which made his movements smooth and his mind sharp. Find a quiet place to sit and close your eyes. Then take a deep breath in through your nose, letting your chest and abdomen expand. Hold for a moment, and then slowly breathe out through your mouth. Pay attention only to the feeling of air entering and leaving your body. This simple action can calm the storm of thoughts that keep us stuck on regrets from the past or worries about the future. Attachments happen because we can't stay in the present moment. We hold on to people, things, or our identities because we don't want to lose control. But when you practice mindful breathing, you learn to let go of control. You realize that life flows like your breath, constant, fleeting, and out of your reach. Each exhale represents letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore. Musashi taught that a warrior should not care about winning or losing because caring about outcomes can cloud judgment. In the same way, caring about outcomes in everyday life can cause suffering. Mindful breathing can help you accept that everything changes, just like each breath does. Mindful breathing should be a part of your daily life. Spend 5 minutes at the start and end of each day. Over time, you'll notice a big change in how you think about attachments. As you work on inner peace and spiritual freedom, they will lose their hold on you. Breathing deeply, living fully, and letting go are the first steps toward a life without extra weight. Step 2. Compassion meditation. Compassion is a transformative force that breaks down the barriers that attachment creates. Metta bhavana, or compassion meditation, helps you love yourself and others no matter what. This practice takes you beyond your ego, which is often where attachment comes from, and into a space of connection and understanding. Even though Miyamoto Musashi was a fierce warrior, he stressed the importance of balance and kindness. He thought that strength lies not in being in charge, but in being in harmony with the world. His wisdom encourages us to look past our own wants and see how all beings are connected. Compassion meditation embodies this philosophy and helps us let go of attachments that come from fear and judgment. First, find a comfortable place to sit and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths to calm down. Then say loving kindness phrases to yourself over and over again, like, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I live with ease. Picture yourself surrounded by warm, golden light, and feel the energy of self-compassion fill your heart. Next, say these wishes to someone you love, then to someone who is neutral, and finally to someone who is hard for you. Say them over and over. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. This breaks down walls of anger and attachment, creating a sense of unity. When you practice compassion meditation, you realize that holding on to anger, jealousy, or possessiveness only makes you suffer. Letting go of these attachments frees you from the chains of negativity. Musashi taught that carrying grudges weighs down the spirit and keeps a warrior from their path. In real life, carrying grudges keeps us stuck in emotional turmoil. As you do compassion meditation, your view will change. Attachments that are based on fear or mistrust will start to fall apart. You'll understand that love and kindness are not limited resources, but infinite energies that get stronger the more you give. This understanding leads to spiritual freedom, letting you walk your path with an open heart and a clear mind. Step 3. Nature connection. Nature can teach us a lot about how to let go, because it represents change, renewal, and balance. It teaches us how to let go of attachments and find spiritual freedom. Spending time in nature helps you get back in touch with the essence of life, letting go of the artificial limits and distractions of modern life. Miyamoto Musashi often went out into nature to be alone. He thought that the calmness and strength of nature were wise. He watched the rivers flow, the leaves rustle, and the sun rise as reminders of how beautiful life is only temporary. He thought that nature taught us to adapt and go with the flow of life's currents instead of fighting them. Get outside and spend some time there. Whether it's a walk in the forest, a moment by the ocean, or just sitting in a park, let yourself fully engage with your surroundings. Look at the intricate patterns on a flower, listen to the birds singing, and feel the ground beneath your feet. Take deep breaths and let nature's rhythm match your own. If you look at nature, you'll notice that nothing sticks. Trees lose their leaves in the fall, rivers flow without stopping, and the sky rains on the earth to feed it. This cycle of giving and receiving is like the idea of non-attachment. Holding on too tightly to anything stops life from going as it should. This is also true of Musashi's teachings. He said not to get attached to things, position, or even life itself, because these things cause fear and limit you. Instead, he said, find the courage to let go in nature, where things are strong and changeable. Being in nature also clears your mind and helps you let go of mental clutter. As the noise goes away, you become more clear on what really matters. Attachments that seemed important at the time will seem small in the grand scheme of things. Nature connection isn't just a way to escape. It's a way to get back to who you are. It reminds you that you are part of a huge web of life that is all linked to each other. By letting go of attachments, you align yourself with this natural order and find freedom and harmony in its embrace. Step 4. Creative expression. Being creative is a deep way to let go of attachments and find spiritual freedom. You can share your feelings, thoughts, and desires through art, music, writing, or other forms of creation. This process turns attachments into something beautiful and freeing. Miyamoto Musashi was an artist, calligrapher, and swordsman. He knew that creativity is the way to mastery and self-discovery. Musashi's paintings and writings show his philosophy of living without attachments, embodying the spirit of flow and change. He taught that to be creative, you need to have a mind that is free from expectations and fear of judgment. Pick a form of artistic expression that speaks to you. It could be writing in a journal, painting, playing an instrument, or making something. Go into your chosen activity with an open mind and heart. Don't try to be perfect. Instead, enjoy the process of making something. As you get more creative, pay attention to how it helps you let go of emotions and attachments that you have been holding on to. If you're angry, paint it out in big strokes. If you're holding on to a memory, write it down and let it flow onto the page. Creativity changes the energy of attachment into a force of healing and freedom. Musashi thought that art and discipline went hand in hand. Just like a warrior improves their skills through practice, an artist improves their craft by letting go of their ego and surrendering to the present moment. This way of thinking frees you from the need for approval from others, which lets your creativity grow in a natural way. Writing or making art can also help you figure out why you hold on to certain things, people, or ideas. By doing your art, you may find answers and the strength to let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. When you're making something, you feel a glimpse of spiritual freedom. You realize that your worth isn't based on what you have or what you hold on to, but on the unique essence you bring into the world. Let your creativity help you let go, turning your attachments into art and freedom. Step 5. Random acts of kindness. Doing random acts of kindness is one of the best ways to let go of attachments. These acts of kindness change your focus from me to we, which breaks the ego's hold and makes you feel connected to the world around you. By giving without expecting anything in return, you make your heart light and free. Miyamoto Musashi taught that people should live with a purpose beyond themselves and that they should be humble and simple. He also believed that people should contribute to something bigger than themselves. In his own life, he was willing to share his knowledge with students and communities because he knew that the best way to be strong is to help others without caring about the outcome. Being kind to a stranger, helping someone carry their groceries, or leaving a note of support for a friend are all examples of random acts of kindness. These actions don't have to be big, but they should be real and come from the heart. When you do these things, you leave your own world and join the experience of all people. We often hold on to things, people, or resources because we don't want to lose them or because we want to be noticed. But being kind teaches us that when we let go, more comes our way. Giving freely reinforces the idea that we already have enough, and we start to trust in life's natural generosity. This idea fits with Musashi's teachings. He said that a warrior shouldn't worry too much about material things or rewards because they weigh down the spirit. In the same way, when we show kindness without expecting anything in return, we let go of the need to be approved of or controlled. Kindness also sends out waves that go far beyond the act itself. It encourages others to do the same, which builds a culture of kindness and generosity. These waves help break down the walls that attachments often build, telling us that we are all connected. You learn to give without holding on, love without possessing, and live without expecting by doing random acts of kindness. This practice gives you the joy of freedom, opens your heart to spiritual freedom, and shows you that life's greatest treasures are found in giving, not holding on. Step 6. Acceptance. To accept something means to stop fighting what is and to fully experience the present moment without judging or denying it. It's not the same as giving up. It's about realizing that things change and finding peace in that. By accepting something, you free yourself from the pain of attachment and open the door to spiritual freedom. Miyamoto Musashi often said that people should adapt to their situations instead of fighting them. He thought that being rigid would lead to defeat, while being flexible and accepting would help a warrior do well. This is also true in life. When we hold on to how things should be, we suffer. But when we accept them as they are, we find peace. To start accepting yourself, watch your thoughts and feelings without judging them. When things don't go as planned, don't try to fight or fix them right away. Instead, take a deep breath, recognize what's happening, and say to yourself, "This is what it is." Then, let your emotions come up. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with or like everything that happens. It just means you stop wasting time and energy fighting reality. For example, if you lose your job or a relationship ends, fighting what was will only make your pain last longer. By accepting what is, you make room to heal and move on. Musashi taught that life is a series of battles, both inside and outside of ourselves. He told warriors to accept the conditions of the battlefield and change their strategies to fit them. In life, this means realizing that change, loss, and challenges are going to happen, and fighting them only makes you more attached to an idealized version of reality. As you practice acceptance, you learn to let go of attachments to the past and hopes for the future. You come to accept that life is temporary and that every moment is valuable. This way of thinking frees you from needless pain and lets you live with grace and strength. Acceptance is a practice that gets better over time. Every day, look for ways to accept the things you can't change. When you do this, you'll feel completely free, without any resistance or attachment, and in sync with life's flow. Step 7. Self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is the last step on the path to letting go of attachments. This practice involves going deep into your own mind and soul to find the source of your attachments and understand your true self. By doing this, you become clear on your wants, fears, and motivations, which lets you let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. Miyamoto Musashi's philosophy was based on self-awareness. He often said that knowing yourself was the key to mastery, both in battle and in life. Musashi's famous book, The Book of Five Rings, talks a lot about how important it is to think about yourself and be disciplined in order to reach enlightenment. He thought that a warrior had to face their inner struggles in order to overcome challenges from the outside world. Set aside some time to think and ask yourself questions like, what am I holding on to and why? Does this attachment make me truly happy, or is it a source of suffering? And who am I without this attachment? Write down your answers in a journal to help you understand them better. Being honest and brave are important for self-inquiry because it's not easy to face the truth about our attachments, especially when they are connected to who we are. For example, you may realize that your attachment to a job or relationship comes from a fear of not being good enough. Recognizing this fear is the first step to letting it go. Musashi said that a warrior should not be afraid to face the void, which is the emptiness that lies beyond attachments and illusions. This teaching also applies to self-inquiry. When you let go of the need to define yourself through things you own, things you've done, or relationships you have, you enter the vastness of your true nature. When you ask yourself questions, you also learn that your ties are temporary. Things you thought were important may not be as important anymore. Knowing this helps you let go with grace and enjoy the freedom that comes from living your true self. Inquiring into yourself is a journey that lasts a lifetime. As you peel back each layer, you find deeper insights and more freedom. By committing to this inner exploration, you align yourself with Musashi's teachings and the path to spiritual freedom, free from the chains of attachment.